Ah, my God. Now, wow. Wetin man go do now? We don't do the normal thing. No. Go school, go school. We don't go school, don't come back. Ati day. We don't apply tire. They no even they reply person. They go collect your CV money where you need, where you suppose use this shop. They go use them. You go use them. Do application finish. They no go even call you back. Not even a no. Eh? Ah, okay, that reminds me. I be apply for this Wazobia company now. Make I even see. Maybe I go fit call am. Hello, Mr. Alao. Na me, Mr. James. Hello. 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 I dey hear you. My network dey. My network dey kakaraka. Oh, they don't ghost me again. See you. Now so they go bounce your call. They no go even reply. Message, you no go see anything. Oh, girl. Where this country dey pull us, we no go even know. Who be this again? Ajoke. Wetin I go shop? Na pounded yam now. I be confirm Ekiti now, you know. Give me pounded yam. Hello, hello. Ah, this one sef no pick call again. Want to ti gbá mi inú ilé mi o. Ah, ghosting. Where ghosting go stop o? For house e dey, for job e dey. Where e go even come stop now?
Hello, this is Liquid Channel, where you find enterprise solutions. I am your host, Funke Medu. HR Tacos is an exciting show that educates, discusses, and debates everything related to employment, labor, and human resource management practices from different perspectives. Today, we'll be looking at one of the trending issues in recruitment industry. Have you ever applied for a job and didn't get a response as an applicant? Or as a recruiter, you've commenced the recruitment process, you thought everything was going on well, suddenly you did not hear from the applicant again. Welcome, aka ghosting. And that's what we'll be looking at today. We'll also try to address some of the concerns raised by Mr. James that you watched earlier, our character, Mr. James. Now, to discuss this exciting and interesting trending issue today, I have with me two important personalities. I have Mrs. Olamide Olabiro, who is a versatile and experienced HR practitioner. Also, I have Mr. Benga Ogusoya, who has experience with being ghosted. Alright, quickly, let's look at what some surveys and researches have said about ghosting. According to the HRD magazine publication of November 1st, 2019, 4 in every 5 employers, that is 83%, have experienced being ghosted by job applicants who either didn't show up for an interview or stopped replying to hiring managers entirely. And that's what a recent study showed. Ghosting. This is Olabiro from a recruiter's perspective. So I have to say, as we start, that these two people with me don't have a fixed position. We are going to have this conversation and approach it with an open mind. Hopefully at the end of the day, we can come to have a meeting point. So they are not going to be labeled. We just want to have a conversation here. This is Olabiro from an from a recruiter's perspective. What do you even mean by ghosting?
Thank you, Funke. So from a recruiter's perspective, ghosting is when you've already engaged an applicant that you see as really good for the role that you're looking at. And you're engaged. You've been chatting, you've been having fun conversations, you've been having talks, you've even had a formal interview. And along the line, this applicant stops responding to your mails, stops speaking your calls, and just goes off like that. That's what ghosting is.
Okay, so Mr. Benga, you heard what Mrs. Olabiro said. So, and you did say that she's talking for recruiters. You also said that sometimes recruiters even ghost applicants. So, how would you explain ghosting an applicant?
Okay, from the applicant's point of view, ghosting is when after applying for a role in a particular company, and then okay, the first message comes in, okay, successfully applied for this role. So that's the communication. So the next thing the applicant should be getting is either the applicant qualified for that particular role or not. So, but at the end of the day, you discover that after 2 months, 3 months, applicants, they don't get any reply, no feedback, and that's very bad. That communication is supposed to be a two-way thing. So you put out a vacancy, I apply. Then the next thing is what is feedback, either successful or not. I am entitled to a feedback. So that's the ghosting from the applicants.
Okay, Mrs. Olabimo, why would recruiters be ghosting applicants? Why? Why do you think they? What are the reasons?
Sometimes these things are not just, it's not a personal issue. Recruiters are very busy people that sometimes it's the timing. But what we need to know is that recruiters are looking for the best candidates for less pay sometimes and at the fastest possible time because that's their job. They want to make things easier for themselves and that's why recruiters are working. Sometimes hiring priorities change and recruiters have to move on. While they're still hiring for this role, another more urgent and prioritized role comes up. They have to leave that for a while. Sometimes remember that recruiters also are human beings. A recruiter might have an emergency and have to leave that role for a while. A recruiter might have to travel. A recruiter might even die and leave that position. And you are then waiting for a feedback. Meanwhile, the recruiter already is caught up at the middle of that hiring position. These are things that happen. And even the applicants sometimes make wrong steps, they take wrong steps, they make wrong moves. And while they're thinking they're the best, they've interviewed really well, they have not. There's a fly off. Something has given you the flag up. There's a red flag. And you're not looking at this.
That's interesting to know. So, okay. Why do you think, applicants ghost recruiters?
Okay, before I answer that question, I would like to say is, in this age that we have, in this era that we are, I believe no recruiter should be given any excuse for ghosting an applicants because this is the age of technology. So you have that at your disposal. So you need to make use of it. So leverage on technology. So you don't have any excuse at all to give any applicants that, okay, this is the reason why I'm ghosting you. So we really need to take care of that. So
I like that word, technology.
Hang on. I'm coming to you. Well, I'm going to come back to address that. So you wanted to tell us, we will talk about technology, okay? So you wanted to tell us why do applicants, she said applicants also ghost recruiters. Why do you think applicants ghost recruiters?
Okay, I was going to say, okay, one of the reasons why applicants ghost recruiters is that it's very possible that an applicant can be applying to another company at the same time applying to your own company. So if the other company offer the applicant the role first, so it's very possible that the applicant will have to go for that role, so for that job, so while leaving your home company. So but I will not want that to be an excuse for the applicants.
Well, I was going to ask you, so it's okay for an applicant to ghost a recruiter, yes, but it's not okay for a recruiter to ghost an applicant.
That's interesting. So please hang on there. So we'll go to the streets. I mean, this is very interesting, and there are some other. I even have some questions that some people have sent. This has been something that's been trending. So let's go to the streets and hear what people on the streets have to say about ghosting, whether from an applicant's perspective or from a recruiter's perspective. So let's go to the streets.
Yes, yeah, I've been ghosted before.
It hasn't been easy, you understand. In the Nigeria lifestyle, the time I applied for a job with one water company like that produces plastic water, and I went there, did everything they asked me to do, and all of a sudden, no reply from them.
I submitted my CV We went for interview, everything went fine.
So I applied. There are actually some organizations before you apply, and one of the things they state is like, if you don't hear in 2 weeks, then it means you didn't make it. And there are others who don't actually say that, but they still don't, reply. So yeah, I've had that experience.
They actually told us to submit our passport, and I actually did mine. And we went for interview, everything was fine. Then few months later, there was no response and nothing.
I waited for like a month or two, nothing. You understand? So it really got me angry. Oh.
So I had to, because I was actually looking for the job, so I had to go and meet the manager itself. So the woman was like, they were now checking the people that submit their CV and all that. I was even surprised. In my mind, I was like, so these people did not even do anything to this CV all of us submit.
Like my experience is not that thing. Just apply for different jobs and got no response.
I was just staring at the woman. She was not telling me that later. She said the branch, they have not opened it, that so they will call me when they open the branch and all that.
Like I said, like to 10, up to 10.
I was so pained because it was so annoying. So I was just staring at the woman, and since then I was feeling bad, though I have to just go.
I finished finished school many years ago. But I know it's up to like 4 years now.
It's over a year.
2 years now.
Few months back,
I dropped my email, dropped my WhatsApp, dropped everything, dropped Facebook. Don't reach me, nothing.
But I was really pained.
Yeah, of course I had to move on. Now I'm working, so.
So welcome back to the program HR Tacos. Today, we're talking about ghosting, and you heard what the people on the streets said. You can relate some of those frustrations to what Mr. James actually started the show with. Ghosting. Benga, you told Mrs. Olabiron that in this day of technology, so Mrs. Olabiron, we have technology, like Benga said, why are people still being ghosted? When you could use technology to sort, to filter, and even automate your response.
Thank you, Funke. And thank you, Winga, for raising the issue of technology. Yes, I agree there is technology, but you have to realize that technology comes at a cost. And if you want to look at the Bureau of Statistics report on businesses in Nigeria, there are mainly small businesses who engage in recruiting and all. And where are they supposed to find this money for this? You will say yes, but you can buy a megabyte for. It doesn't work that way. When you want to now, you say yes, but you can filter, or you can do this. All this come at a cost. And who is going to finance this? Is it the company that's trying to recruit, that's trying to make a profit from the little that they can? So these things don't seem as simple as they are. There are a lot of things that surround everything.
Oh,
as much as I'm not giving excuses for recruiters who ghost, but I'm letting you know that they are human beings also. You have to realize that.
Okay, thank you. So, Benga, Mr. Ansel, you have to just understand like that people ghost for different reasons, and recruiters not that because they just want to wake up and start ghosting applicants. So, hey, this happens. Sometimes they are not even alive. Sometimes the cost is not even there. Sometimes maybe there might be biases, but I'll come to you for that. So, Benga, if you have to advise them, there's no technology. They said, what would you be telling them?
Okay, the first thing I will advise the recruiter to do is, okay, if you know you don't want to leverage on the technology, then you don't make your vacancy public. So you don't take it to the public. So you can just put it or make it in-house, just as some people do. So some organizations, that's what they do. So you can do it in-house, or you just reach out to one or two people. Because when you make it public, that means you are inviting everyone and anyone that is qualified for that role. So anyone and everyone that is applying to for that role is entitled to the feedback. That is my stand. I'm not encouraging applicants to ghost the recruiter or recruiter to ghost the applicants. But my stand is, if you are putting out something into the public, then you should be expecting people to apply. Then the people that are applying, they are expecting feedback.
Thank you, Gwenda. Remember I said that recruiters are looking for the best candidates for the lowest pay. No, I'm not saying lowest in that matter. It's just relative. The lowest pay and at the shortest possible time, because there are timelines also. So if that's the case, then we have to look for a pool
So,
of
Mrs. Sarah,
resources.
so from a recruiter's perspective, do you think sometimes there are biases?
Of
Maybe,
course.
so let me give an instance. So I was talking to a friend of mine, she said, sometimes, but she even put out, she said there are short-term ghosting, medium-term ghosting, and long-term ghosting. That sometimes you can even know immediately that I'm going to ghost this person. From point of interview, this one, the way you are even behaving, I will just ghost you. Immediately, you've taken a ghosting decision. And sometimes she said that there are some biases from maybe the clients, and you can't put it in the public domain. Does that happen?
Yes, I said it. I said hiring priorities change. Sometimes even the hiring is put on hold, and you won't know as an
So why
applicant.
can't you respond to the at that point that it's put on
You're
hold?
waiting
But how
for
will you
it,
feel
right?
if you apply for something? Maybe there's a bias, maybe gender, and you don't want to be put in, and they come back to you and say, "Dear Benga, we cannot take you because you are not
Applying
female."
female.
How would you feel for that? Or they said the recruitment is now on hold after 6 months of following up. How would you take that?
Okay, for me, it will be okay for me.
Oh, if someone
Because-
comes back to you.
Exactly, because you are giving me feedback, you are telling me the reason why I am not qualified, why you are not selecting me, or why I'm not moving forward.
And you won't get offended that they said you are not
I won't
because you
be
are so
offended.
age or something.
I won't be offended.
But that's you. Do you think some people might be offended?
I think some applicants will be okay with that. So
Okay.
just give them the feedback. This will help them in their next application. So that's just my stand.
Then there are some biases like an applicant comes in, you think you're on top of the world, you think you are acing the interview, but you don't know what the recruiter wants. And you are not acing. You've made some errors. So
Okay, this is becoming very interesting. You see, we have to take this conversation online because these few minutes, it's not enough to do justice to this. But thank you so much, Mrs. Olabiro, and thank you so much, Benga. So we will continue this conversation online, and we're inviting you people to also join us and take this conversation further. All right, so that's our show today. We will continue. It's been a pleasure being with both of you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I'm
Thank you.
dragging you online as we continue this conversation. So we'll continue online at Leap World Group. So you can check our Twitter handle, you can check us on Facebook, you can check us on Instagram, and we're also on LinkedIn. But this particular conversation will continue on our Twitter handle at Leap World Group. So join us next week for another exciting edition. We will still continue, so I'm inviting all of you to continue with us this conversation online. So this is our show for today. This is Lipo's channel. Enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of your week. Be value adding, be productive. See you next week, and try not to ghost. Thank you.